What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video we are going to be talking about Sumire. So we're going to be having a discussion about her and pretty much why the latest chapter, chapter 16, was good for Sumire. So a lot of people, when they initially saw the leaks, me included, weren't feeling super excited about that segment of the chapter when the initial leaks first came out. And when it first came out, I was like, yeah, maybe it'll be okay. And after I saw the official translations and even just the regular fan translations, it started making a little bit more sense why we had this segment added in the chapter. And I overall think that it's really good to have this segment in this chapter for Sumire's character. And here's why I say that. The most obvious reason being that so far in the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga, Sumire hasn't really done anything super significant or special yet. I mean, we know she's been around with Sarada for a lot of the scenes, but we haven't really seen her have a standout moment of sorts. And granted that this is not really, maybe a standout moment that some people would have wanted from her, but this definitely is her biggest moment so far in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex so far. So far, if we're running through what she has done, we can look back to maybe, let's say, the earlier chapters where she's just hanging around Sarada and, they both know the truth and they're among like the only people that know about the truth about Boruto. And then later on we kind of see her interact a little bit with Boruto, and Boruto pulls up on Sarada and her, and that's when that whole Sarada hugging Boruto moment happened, which is part of the whole convo that Sumire had here. So this kind of shows us where Sumire currently stands as a character, like her perspective and her views in general. So I know there are a lot of people out there that are kind of hating on her because they might just support Sarada more or like Sarada more, or maybe they don't like Sumire as much. But after the official chapter came out, I know that there were more understanding people about Sumire and more people liked it after the official chapter came out. But it was a mess when we had the initial translations, because especially if you're looking online on some of these platforms like Twitter, for example, there are some very aggressive Sarada fans that don't like Sumire. So the official chapter calmed that down. And for me personally, I do think that since we had this moment of hers in the chapter, that it was probably the best time to do something like this, because we're transitioning right now from the arc that just ended to this sand arc that we're about to get right now. So I feel like if they were going to do this, this was a good placement for it. So I'm not really mad at the decision to have this implemented in the story. So let's talk about a little bit more in depth what happened. So pretty much Sumire makes it clear to Sarada that Boruto's feelings are something that aren't really being considered here by her, because Sarada is kind of rushing into the scenario of, I gotta help Boruto, we gotta help Boruto, we gotta find Boruto, But Sumire is kind of thinking from the other perspective of, what if we're just gonna be a burden to Boruto or be in his way right now? What if there are things, that Boruto wants to tell us, but he just can't, and they don't know what it is, but so Sumire just feels like there's stuff Boruto can't share, which we know is true, because if, according to Kashi and Koji, if Boruto really reveals more about the technique, they're going to stray further away from what's actually supposed to happen timeline-wise. So it makes sense why Boruto wouldn't really share much with them, even though maybe he wants to, because they're still, both of them are still his friends at the moment. So makes sense where Sumire is coming from. I think her perspective is a good contrast to what Sarada was thinking at that moment as a perspective. So seeing where Sumire stands was good on that. And then Sumire also made it very clear that she still really likes Boruto, and that when Sarada did that whole hug thing in front of her, it felt like Sarada was inconsiderate, whereas I guess Sumire is implying she didn't do anything like that because she knows how Sarada feels. So I guess Sumire is trying to portray herself a little bit more as caring in a way of others' feelings rather than what Sarada's been doing. Sarada's been a little bit more impulsive, I guess, is what Sumire is trying to say. So ultimately, that did lead to a pretty tense conversation, and Sumire did run off and seemed very upset. So this is kind of just gonna lead on, I feel like, to, of course, more the storyline developing, and we'll see at some point if these two reconcile or if something else is gonna happen. I actually saw a very interesting theory personally online, where somebody was talking about Sumire, maybe, she gets really desperate for power, perhaps because of everything that's going on. Maybe she's feeling like she's not much use right now. So maybe she could go to Amado because she has been working with Amado for a while, and maybe perhaps we had the route of Amado turning her into like a cyborg and making some modifications to her to give her a power boost. Now, I know that's kind of out there, but I wouldn't say it's completely impossible, because we do know Sumire's past isn't a pleasant one. So I feel like it's not the worst theory to put out there that she could do something desperate like that if she felt the need to be a little bit more useful in like a battle case. But we got to see how she looks, I guess, in a battle right now, because she didn't really do much at all in the recent events, whereas Sarada at least showcased some new stuff. And it makes sense, of course, power scaling wise, because Sarada has, her Sharingan. She would and probably is stronger than Sumire right now, I think. And I guess the one thing that could really help Sumire could be if her summoning was at its best. But even then, I don't know how strong she'd be, but definitely not super strong enough to stack against the Shinjus. So the whole cyborg modification theory of her getting that could perhaps really happen. I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on that if she does go that route. But in general, good stuff for her character. Glad she got some moment right there. This adds a little bit more depth to her character, I think, by showing her different perspectives than Sarada, shows her current stance as a character right now in Boruto, and even as well on her friendship with Sarada. So good stuff in general for character writing. Overall, I am hoping, though, that she gets a little bit more significant role in the story in some sort of way as we go forward. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'll probably make another discussion video of some sort regarding Sarada and Sumire before the next chapter. So I guess look forward to that. But that is going to wrap up this one. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.